Griffith Joyner blowing away the field in a 10:49. Wind aided 10:49.
Wait, don't leave. Yes, the video may be a little old. Okay, it's very old judging by the quality, but it only goes to show how powerful that performance was for it to be relevant to this day. If you didn't recognize the sprinters due to the poor video quality, I'm sure you would have recognized the name Florence Griffith Joyner. I mean, who wouldn't know her? Florence Griffith Joyner, in full Delorez Florence Griffith Joyner, known as Flo-Jo to many, is an American sprinter who set world records in the 100 meters and 200 meters that have stood since 1988. In addition to that, Flo-Jo is also a 3-time Olympic champion, 1-time world champion, 2-time Olympic Games silver medalist, and 1-time World Championship silver medalist, among others. Griffith started running at age 7, chasing jackrabbits to increase her speed. From a young age, Griffith Joyner developed an interest in sports and fashion. She started experimenting with sewing her own clothes at the same time that she started running. She joined the Sugar Ray Robinson Youth Foundation, where she played basketball, volleyball, football, and ran track for the first time. Her natural talent became clear to everyone when she won the Jesse Owens National Youth Games 2 years in a row as a 14 and 15-year-old. And at Jordan High School in LA, she set school records in the long jump and the sprints. Always with an eye for flair, part of the Flo-Jo legend is that she convinced her high school relay teammates to pair long tights with their track uniforms. Griffith Joyner graduated from high school in 1978 and briefly attended Cal State Northridge, where she was part of Kersey's national title-winning track program. Despite her success on the track, she dropped out of high school the following year for financial reasons. Consequently, she was forced to give up the sport at 19 in order to help support her family. She then decided to work as a bank teller to earn money for her family. Fortunately for her, the U.S. and the world, sprint coach Bob Kersey found her and helped her enroll at UCLA. If that encounter didn't happen, the world wouldn't have seen such exemplary talent, and the U.S. wouldn't have held the record in the women's 100 and 200 meter sprint for more than 3 decades now. Anyhow, going back, Griffith entered the University of California, Los Angeles in 1980 to train with Kersey. It was then that Kersey had moved on to an assistant coach position at UCLA, where he was able to help Griffith Joyner secure financial aid. Not long after that, she won a silver medal in the 200-meter race at the 1984 Olympics in Los Angeles. Unsurprisingly, she quickly became a media celebrity with her 6-inch decorated fingernails and eye-catching racing suits. Dress good to look good to feel good, and feel good to run fast. She said of her on-the-track fashion statements. Despite being labeled as a fast-rising track superstar, Griffith wasn't too happy with her performance at the event, so she went into semi-retirement. Fortunately, she didn't stay away from the sport for too long. In 1987, she rededicated herself to the sport, adopting an intense weight training program and altering her starting technique. That same year, she married Al Joyner, winner of the 1984 gold medal in the triple jump and brother of Jackie Joyner Kersey, a heptathlon champion. It was then that she changed her name to Florence Griffith Joyner and eventually picked up the nickname Flo-Jo. Those changes, both her marriage and variation in her starting technique, proved to be good for her. Really good for her. The very next year after said changes occurred, she made history in the sport. In the U.S. Olympic trials in July 1988, Griffith Joyner achieved a stunning breakthrough when she ran the 100 meter in 10.49 seconds, obliterating Evelyn Ashford's record of 10.79. Her time was faster than the men's records in a wide range of countries, including Ireland, New Zealand, Norway, and Turkey. Of course, there is some context to her astounding 10.49-second world record. The primary contention for those who question her outlier record has to do with the wind. Those who are well-versed in the sport know that in sprinting, a strong wind blowing from behind you can make a big difference. It is so big that a tailwind, as it's known, of a certain strength during a race will automatically disqualify the runner's time for consideration in world records. To understand better, I'll give you an example. At the 2008 U.S. trials, Tyson Gay ran what was at the time a world record-beating 9.68 seconds in the 100 meter. However, it was not counted as a world record because the wind speed behind him was 4.1 meters per second, which is well above the 2 meters per second threshold to have a sprint time qualify for record-keeping purposes. Meanwhile, when Flo-Jo ran in Indianapolis in 1988, the wind reading came in at 0.0 meters per second. It was very legal and also very curious on a day when observers noted it was quite breezy. On that note, skeptics have contended the wind meter wasn't working properly or otherwise read properly that day, and there have even been academic studies into the wind that day. Nevertheless, it was recorded as a legal time all the same, and the record remains in the books unchallenged. And so, Flo-Jo competed in the Seoul Olympics later that year. It was then that Griffith Joyner twice broke the Olympic record and then won the final easily in a wind-aided 10.54. 4 days later, in the semifinals, she broke the 9-year-old world record for 200 meters, and then, 100 minutes later, she set another world record in the final with a time of 21.34 seconds. Griffith Joyner's records for the 100 and 200 meters have yet to be broken. At the Games in Seoul, she ran in both relays, winning a third gold medal in the 4x100 meter and a silver in the 4x400 meter. On that note, it has been 35 years since Florence Griffith Joyner, also known as Flo-Jo, set the women's 100-meter world record in the quarterfinals of the U.S. Olympic Trials of 1988. A time of 10.49, which lowered the existing record by 0.27 seconds, has often been called unbeatable. Well, because it is. Over the years, numerous athletes have tried and failed to break that record. In recent years especially, Flo-Jo's legendary mark has begun to be challenged, with the Jamaican duo of Elaine Thompson-Herah and Shelly-Ann Fraser-Pryce edging closer than ever to breaking it. For the U.S., the 2023 season has also seen the re-emergence of the precociously talented Sha'carri Richardson, who is also proving to be a great contender in breaking Flo-Jo's record. When she suddenly passed, the world lost a great talent. It was very sudden indeed, as she tragically died in her sleep at only 38 years old. The cause of death was an epileptic seizure brought on by a congenital abnormality in her brain. She had a seizure while sleeping face down on her bed, and she suffocated. She had suffered from a seizure on a flight in 1996. Contrary to speculations, the autopsy found no signs of steroid use. Some people just can't seem to accept that Flo-Jo has innate talent in the sport. Overall, the world is keeping its eye on the record, and which athlete of this generation will be able to break it? Well, the sport is about that, breaking records and running faster than everyone else. That's exactly what Noah Lyles aims to do. Watch this to see him do that.